come to Woodburn, Oregon, and you will become a campfire story. I mean, don't. You'll become a campfire story? What?
He's not even joking either. Everyone there in Woodburn, Oregon knows who you are, and everyone is on standby waiting and watching for you to step foot in our little town. I've got a couple friends who have become campfire stories. You don't want to mess around in Woodburn, Oregon. It's a dangerous place.
Press start.
What's going on, gang? It's your boy Basic White Girl here. I'm sipping a pumpkin spice latte because it came out yesterday, and I'm feeling very autumny. I'm in the season, you know how it is. I'm a basic white girl right now because I'm sipping this, but hope you guys are having a great day because I know I am. In today's video, I'm going to be explaining everything that I dislike about living in Oregon. I know. Everyone watching this right now is probably like, wait, Oregon? Where is that? Is that someplace in Europe? Is that in Canada? Like, no. Oregon is a state that is in the United States of America, right above California and Washington. So it's like the middle child that no one even knows it exists because it's so overshadowed by the two states around it. And honestly, even right next to it, it's got Nevada with Las Vegas too. So even that overshadows it. The only thing that doesn't really have anything on it is Idaho, because honestly, I've never heard anything about Idaho. I don't know. I think they like grow a lot of potatoes over there or something. I'm not sure, but yeah, I recently told the story about my trip to Texas, and it was pretty insane for me. So let me just give some background about like why I thought, oh, Texas is so nice and everything, you know. Let me give my perspective. So the common stereotypes about Oregon is that there's a lot of trees and forests and Bigfoot and fentanyl users, and those are all true. You know, it kind of depends which part of the state you live in, because I know most of like the eastern half of Oregon is all desert, so if you want desert vibes, you can go there, although I don't think there's a lot over there, so I don't know why you'd want to live there, but you know, to each their own. People like it. It's not my cup of tea, you know, but people like it. Yeah, if you want all the trees and stuff, you gotta live more to the western side of Oregon. And I can't say that I've seen any Bigfoot around here, but you know, a lot of people say they have. I just don't believe in that. Just because of the fact that, like, if there was a giant monkey roaming around the woods, people would find it, and you know, with the amount of technology we have nowadays, they would have been recorded in like 4K. You know, there's a show on There's a show that's like about Bigfoot hunting that has like 25 seasons or something crazy like that, and they haven't even heard like a peep, you know. At that point, I just don't think there's any evidence that Bigfoot is actually real or exists. So, you know what? Scratch that. I actually went to high school with some Bigfoots. So if you're looking for a Bigfoot, there's a lot around here in our schools, you know. Although just be aware, if you're hanging around schools looking for a Bigfoot, you're probably gonna not get the attention that you're kind of hoping for. Anyways, now that we got a lot of stereotypes out of the way, I'm just here to confirm, like, yeah, they're all true. Yeah, so I live right in the capital of Oregon, you know, Salem. That's where it's poppin'. Except not really, because there's literally nothing to do in Salem, Oregon, bro. It is empty. There's nothing to do. It's all just homeless people, like, old buildings, and it's just boring. Like, there's nothing fun to do. There's no, like, amusement parks, conventions, or like meetups, you know. It's just boring. There's nothing to do. We only have 2 local malls, and one of them is on its last breath with only like 3 stores in it, and the food court's getting shut down because no one goes there. That's right in downtown Salem. And the second mall we have here, the best store there is Barnes and Noble. So, like, what? I don't understand what they expect us to do around here. It is so boring here in Oregon. Me and my homies resort to throwing bricks at homeless people for any source of entertainment. Like, we have a few movie theaters, but they're so expensive. It's like $20 per movie. I could be spending my money literally anywhere else, and it would be more worth it than going to the movies. The only time I've ever seen a packed theater is when the Minecraft movie came out, and literally everyone and their mom was lining up to scream at Jack Black. And that actually did happen, and there was popcorn thrown everywhere and stuff. It was pretty lit. Oh, that and the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. When the Five Nights at Freddy's movie came out, I went with all my friends, and my friend went with his girlfriend, and they were sitting like kind of away from us. It doesn't really matter. But he got a giant bag of popcorn thrown on him, and it just covered him in his day, and it was like crazy. But besides that, there's usually only about 3 people tops that go to the movie theater, so that's what you can expect. That and a ridiculous price. Okay, but now I'm going to talk about the weather here in Oregon. Honestly, in my opinion, I love the weather here in Oregon. We get every single season. We go from summer to fall to winter. We get like, heat, rain, snow. We get everything. And it's a stereotype that Oregon gets a lot of rain. But honestly, I don't think we get enough rain. We only get rain like really in the winter time and in the spring. But I want some like fall rain, And then also the summers here even get scorching hot. Like where I'm at, summer days can get up to like 102, 103 degrees. And it's miserable, to be honest. But I know a lot of other states get way more miserable days. So I'm not really like saying we should trade, I'll be happy with my 101 degrees, I can just stay inside. It is what it is. Because then like for the rest of the year, we just get kind of cold, foggy, cloudy weather, Which if that's your thing, come stop by Oregon. It's kind of my thing. I like the cold weather. Mostly because I'm very unresistant to heat. Like I sweat like a freaking dog. I actually start precipitating any minor like activity I do because I don't know. I guess it's just something in my genes that I'm like a super sweaty person and it's miserable. So that just makes the hot days even more miserable for me. So that's why I prefer the cold. I'd rather be freezing cold and not sweating, having to put on more layers because when you're hot, you can only get so naked, Also, another thing I want to mention about the weather topic is the beach around here. We got like a big beach. It is always like cloudy, foggy, and just cold and miserable. And I'm not always a fan of the beach. Like warm beaches are kind of nice, but I'm not a fan of the beach. And when it's cold, soggy, and miserable, it's just like even worse. So I really just hate the beach here. Not my favorite place to go, To each their own. If you want to go there and get your socks all muddy and sandy and, just have a good old time with moist feet, be my guest. People like it, The beaches look like Silent Hill, but, that's just a little warning from me if you want to go to the beaches in Oregon. It's not really the prettiest thing. Okay, on to my next topic. It's just a dump here. In Oregon, it's just a dump. You go to any city in Oregon, it's just a freaking dump. There's trash everywhere, homeless people. It's just miserable. It's gross. It smells like pee everywhere. It's just nasty. Like, we need to get some people to clean it up. And honestly, it's just really, really sad. I feel like people always have this thought in their mind about Oregon that it's like, oh, it's so pretty, like there's trees everywhere. But if you go to downtown Salem, there's trash everywhere, There's homeless people. I could walk downtown Salem and literally step in human feces. That hasn't actually happened to me before, but I've gotten close. Trust me, it's not an uncommon thing down there. And I'm not saying that this is a problem that is, specific to Oregon or cities in Oregon. I know that it happens in a lot more places. You can't really prevent all of it, But when I went to D.C., it was completely spotless. Like, it was a beautiful, beautiful city, The capital of the United States is a gorgeous city. And even when I went to Vegas, it was better than here. Like, Vegas felt like home, You got everything that Oregon has, except it's just in a way more beautiful place, You got everything smells like weed, pee, feces. You got, crazy people, homeless people running around having a good time. But the difference between Vegas and Oregon is that Vegas is basically a tourist attraction with hundreds of casinos, bars, and fun things to do. And Oregon is just a dump, a massive garbage heap like Gachiakuta on the ground. And don't even get me started on Portland, bro. Portland, Oregon is just a horrible place. I don't understand how the governor, allows the stuff there to go on. My dad tells me that if you leave your car parked on the side of the road just anywhere in Portland, you should just expect it to get broken into because everyone up there is just freaking lunatics. Maybe that's why we don't have nice things around here. Probably because everyone around here is just crazy. Crazy drug addicts and homeless people around here. That's what you get around Oregon. But to be honest, I can't even blame you if you're homeless in Oregon. The pricing for houses here is so incredibly expensive that you cannot be expected to buy a house. I don't understand how anyone does it. Me and my friends, we have to get like 4 or 5 people in a 2-bedroom apartment to even afford it on a minimum wage job. Because the housing here is just so expensive. And it doesn't make sense because they're all small houses. And most of the houses in Salem, just from my personal opinion, you know, I just came back from Texas where everything's nice. And just looking around here, everything's just a dump. The buildings look old, mossy, abandoned. But, you know, maybe that's just more on the homeowner's fault and not the city's fault. But to finish off this little yap session of mine, I want to talk about Woodburn, Oregon. Woodburn, Oregon, honestly, it's not a bad place. That's where like all the Mexicans are, and that, you know, that's where I'm from, and I'm Mexican, so I would know. But that's where all the Mexicans are from. So if you want to go get some nice tacos, food, amazing food, and just like a beautiful atmosphere, they got like festivals and stuff. You know, it's pretty lively in Woodburn because the Mexicans always want to party, and it's just a lit place to be. But yeah, be aware because a lot of people that go to Woodburn, Oregon get turned into campfire stories, and you don't want to be one of them. So just be cool, be chill, don't be a Los Polos, and you're chilling. Yeah, but that's gonna do it for this video. I just kind of wanted to rant a little bit about where I'm from, and the problems I have with it. It really is beautiful though. If you know where to go, if you're in the right place, like the countrysides are gorgeous and the mountains and stuff, and there's a lot of waterfalls. If you know where to go, you can find the good spots of Oregon. But most of like the main areas are just kind of trashy and just dumps. But maybe I'm just being too harsh, who knows? Maybe you'll have to come see for yourself. Why don't you judge how crazy Oregon is, if it's a dump or not? Maybe you have different opinions. So let me know in the comments down below. If not, if you don't want to go to Oregon, I'm sorry. It really is not that bad. I'll say there's like a 44% chance you don't get attacked by Bill Cipher while you're here. It's kind of a common occurrence, so I'd hope you watch out for that. Get on his good side like me and you'll have no problems. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, night, evening, morning, afternoon, sun up, sun down, sun in the ground. Yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace out.
She wanna give me some time. Fuck out that bitch that I drive. You ain't tryna fuck, you get dropped. No money coming, it won't stop.